Hey, 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 happy Sunday, happy Sunday. How's everybody doing today? And you are, again, tuned in to WXNA LP Nashville 101.5 FM, live streaming on WXNAFM.org. It is now time for Dear Jelly. I hope that you enjoyed, let me make sure, the Black River with DJ Paul. welcome, DJ Paul. He will be here every Sunday. Just had a chance to meet him. Hope you guys will like it. He's going to be happening from 6 to 7, and it's called the Black River. So be sure to check him out. Hey, everybody. How are you doing? Happy Sunday. How has your day been? What's going on, y'all? How's everybody doing? Shout out to those joining us online. Hey, Lindsay. Hey, how are you? And the rest of you, I see you. Hey, how are you? We gonna have an interesting topic today. Last week, we had a really great topic. I'm really glad that we got to talk. And for those who wanted Juan's answer for last week, he said he's definitely going to give his answer today on last week's conversation. But for this week, we are talking about moolah, money. If you're wondering what we were talking about last week we were talking about if you had the opportunity to be with the love of your life, love of a lifetime, or have a credit card with unlimited credit that you never had to pay back, what would you choose? You can only choose one. And so Juan said he's going to let us know this week on what his actual choice would be. So interested to hear what Juan has to say. Today we're talking about money. How soon in the dating process, in the relationship process, do we disclose how much money we actually make? Like, I know that some jobs and job descriptions, you can maybe guesstimate how much somebody makes based on what you might be able to find online or on the companies. Like, oh, this person makes this much money. Yes, but how soon do you actually tell said person that you make a certain amount of money? How soon do you actually tell the person? How soon do you reveal the truth about how much you make? How soon do you do that? And how much do you disclose? Is this something that you should disclose up front? Is this something you should wait till you're married to actually say, like, this is actually exactly how much I'm bringing home to you in like counseling? There's an influencer, Melissa Fab Glance, and she was asking on social media. She was asking, like, hey, how soon do I share? How soon do we share that this is how much I make? At what point in the relationship process do we even ask? Do we ask? Yes or no? Let me know. So that's what we're talking about today. And I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on when you disclose how much you make, if you ever disclose how much you make. How do you disclose that? Like, how are we doing this? Do you ask, or do you just let the person really tell you? Because they might say they work in this industry, but how much do they really make? And is it really that important? That's what we're talking about today. Let me know. You listen to Dear Jelly on the X. Hey, y'all. I taught a class this morning, so I've been doing a lot of talking. Dry throat. At the phone? How y'all doing? How's everybody's weekend? Why is this not doing anything? Oop. Keyboard went out. That was crazy. Hi, Kiara. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? How's your weekend been? Oh my God, I gotta tell you about that person I told you that I met the other night. I do know their songs. I've jammed and used their songs. Like, he's not a small artist. Not a small artist at all. It's like, oh, I know his music. It's crazy. Hey, VL, thanks for popping in and say hi. Loving all these people popping in. Appreciate y'all. Well, that song was short. Good night. I'm playing another song because that was short. Elijah wants you to know that he said, hi, Elijah. Basketball champ. Elijah's so cool. Yesterday, Elijah was dropping that wisdom. He was like, hey, take the money. From the mouths of the youth. Elijah was dropping that wisdom on us. Hi, Jenna. Okay, Lindsay. I'd be key to figure it out by workplace and title. And yes, it does matter, financial. So how soon, at what point in your relationship, sorry, I feel like I'm yelling. Let me turn this down. This thing is blasting in my ears. Let me switch it. Okay. For some reason, that's better. So tonight the topic is how soon in the relationship, at what point in your relationship do you divulge how much money you're making? Like not a round sum, not an estimate, like you may have shared, but where you work, and yeah, they can look it up kind of, but like no, you actually share. They know this is how much money you're bringing home after taxes. How soon in the relationship? And does it even matter? Like, does it matter? Are you only dating certain people in certain brackets? Do you care how much they're making? Let's talk about it. Like, how soon? At what point? Engagement period. Ooh. Because it's like they might say, like, oh, I'm a police officer. So then you're like, okay, well, how many years been a police officer? But I mean, there are some positions where there are bonuses, there are different things you can add to certain things, like years of service. Like, I want to see what Lindsay said. And doesn't matter like how much money they bring in. Will you only date certain people at a certain point? What's wrong with my jacket? Oh. My lips are dry. Sorry, announcing all that, but it's concern. Because there are some people who you'd be surprised how much money they make. Some people have capped So they can only make so much. Some people negotiate. How soon are we spilling the beans? I'm doing Lindsay's comment next. I used to love this song. You're listening to WXNA-LP Nashville 101.5 FM, live streaming on WXNAFM.org. Tracking back, first we had Melvito with Santorini Coffee off the 2013 The Night Is Young release, followed by Banky W with Yes or No. 2019 release with Melvito. Banky W was a 2013 RNBW release. If you're just tuning in, hey, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. You are tuned into Dear Jelly with DJ Jelly. Happy Sunday. I'm really glad that you are vibing out with me. Special shout out to those who have joined our live chat on TGI Jelly on Facebook, as well as TGI Jelly on YouTube. Tonight we're having a discussion. How soon in your relationship, at what point do you let the other person know exactly how much money you have? You may have told them, hey, what you do for a living. They may be able to guesstimate how much money you make, but at what point do you let them know exactly how much money you have, exactly how much money you make, exactly what you're bringing home, at what point? And does it matter? Are we that concerned with how much money? Are you only dating certain people at a certain price? I shouldn't say price point, income point, I guess. Is that the correct term? Probably not. Forgive me if it's not. While I'm waiting to talk about that, I definitely want to share with you about The Forge. The Forge Nashville is a nonprofit arts organization serving Nashville's creative community. They offer access to professional equipment, classes, scholarships, art art exhibitions, and events, both public and private. No matter the medium, the creative resources and a vibrant art community are at The Forge. More info at theforgenashville.org. Got a little tongue-tied there. So that's what we're talking about tonight. Like I said, I'm looking at a post from an influencer, and she was sharing, Melissa with Fablance, and she was sharing, asking that question, like, at what point do we do this? At what point do you share exactly what your income is? And of course, I added to it because I'm like, even if they tell you how much they make, when you're looking at their debt, when you're looking at how much are you bringing in? What are your bills? What are we doing here? How soon do you divulge this information? It doesn't really matter. Lindsay says, I'd be key to figure it out by workplace and title. And yes, it does matter. Financial panels are just as important as medical panels. Could make a lot, but owe a lot. May dampen the relationship. Ooh, yes. Jenna says, I think once you decide you are about to be serious. How much do you share, though? Kiara says, I wouldn't share financials until we're maybe discussing marriage or moving in together. Okay. VL says engagement period. So, yes, engagement period. Jenna says, or shall I say exclusive? So you think once you become exclusive, Jenna, that's the time to share exactly like how much money you have, like for real, how much money you have. VL says, I care about her debt to income ratio. Okay, so I think that's the same thing that that Lindsay was talking about, where she's like, you might make a lot, but if you owe a lot, then you're not really making a lot. So yes, debt to income. So we're worried about the debt to income. Kiara says you can sort of guesstimate someone's income based off their job and title. And I believe that sometimes you can. Lindsay says, I can't be making 5-star money compared to value menu money. Wouldn't feel comfortable making ridiculously less than my partner either. Why? Let's talk about why. So I can't be making 5-star money compared to value menu money. Wouldn't feel comfortable making ridiculously less than my partner either. I mean, hold on. Jenna says income bracket. So Jenna, you're saying that you only income bracket. So Jenna, what are your thoughts on only dating someone at a certain income bracket? I mean, I'm just thinking about myself, and different people that I've seen together, and just wondering, like, I know when I was younger, I really didn't care anything about your income bracket when I was in my 20s, but in my 30s, I don't think I really cared either. But now that I'm in my 40s, it makes you wonder, like, huh? And then it's the whole, what are you bringing to the table, right? What are you bringing? Lindsay, if they can go half on everything we do together, it's all good. Once my part is more than half and starts being 100% and not reciprocated, gotta bounce. So at what point, Lindsay, do you share this and the amount? Because it's like you gotta bounce. How soon are we bouncing? Bounce, bounce, bounce. Kara says, I would never share 100% of all my finances. You would never share 100% of your finances. You mean like you wouldn't tell them, or just you wouldn't share it with them? Jenna says, I'm going to need to know prior to being engaged. So when you say you need to know how much money he or she is making prior to being engaged, do you mean you need to know everything? Debt to income, all the things? Exactly how much is coming home, how much his debts are, all that stuff. And then that will determine whether or not you'll move to being engaged, open to being engaged. Kara says, are we sharing income, saving bond, credit scores? Yes, 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 all the things. How soon are we sharing all of the things? All of it. How soon are we sharing that? How soon are we sharing that? Let me know what you think. How soon are we sharing all these things? And then, like, yes, when we were younger, I know when I was younger, I didn't care about that sort of thing. But how soon are we sharing that once we are now? You, where you are now, who you are now. How soon are you sharing those things now? All that. All that. Because we in love, right? Or do you wait till you're in love? Do you share up top so you don't up at the top so you don't waste your time? How soon are we sharing this information? Here's Love Somebody by Rotimi. Listen to your jelly. I'm the X. But how are we having these conversations, though? Definitely don't want to make a major commitment to someone and we're about to be struggling. Now, somebody. Who is it? Anthony Hamilton said, we can live off of love alone. Funny. It's shared once a person can't start paying their part. How do you have these discussions, though? I'm open about discussing the cost of things. If they're always on payment plans or arrangements, they won't be able to keep up with me. But how soon are we having these type of conversations then? Is this in the first few dates so that you don't have to reclaim your time? How are we having these conversations, especially if you know that you only date certain people in certain income brackets and you're looking at their debt to income ratio? How are we having these conversations? What are we saying? These sound like uncomfortable conversations, but I know they need to be had. To see. until you love somebody. Happy Black History Month, by the way. No judgment though, but we can't get by on love alone. Ain't nothing going over here. Ain't nothing going on over here but the rent. That is sad. Ain't nothing going on but the rent though. I'm gonna need a little more than rent to be going on in your house, and you got somebody. Love somebody. Until you love somebody. A little more music play this time. I like this song. Hey. So like, because you don't want people to think you just made. I want to test your love. I want to flex. Hey Tia. Hey. Oh. My precious used to say, you talking about your grandma? Every time you say my precious, I think my precious. My precious used to say, love don't make a turd. Oh, love don't make a turd. Okay. If our salary is comparable, it's not uncomfortable. See, I got questions because this is something that I'm just curious about. I mean, if the person is hardworking and able to take care of themselves right now, we just gonna count them out automatically? Do we not believe you can build something together? Or are we past that age? Or are you past that point right now in your life where you're like, no, this is where you need to be? And if you're saying you're having a discussion early, Lindsay, then is that how are you asking them early what your income and debt to income, like what you're actually bringing home is? I want to flex. Are you asking them that off the bat? Like, this is how much I make. How much do you make? How are we having these conversations, y'all? I'm curious how this conversation works. No. Super past that age. You're listening to WXNA LP Nashville 101.5 FM, live streaming on WXNAFM.org. Tracking back, that was Rotimi with Love Somebody off of the 2021 All or Nothing release and deluxe release, and Kiz Daniel with Cough Odo from the 2023 Maverick release. If you are just tuning in, hey, happy Sunday. It is Dear Jelly with DJ Jelly. I'm having a pretty cool conversation with some people on TGI Jelly on Facebook, as well as TGI Jelly on YouTube. Conversation we're having is how soon do you divulge how much money you make? How soon do you ask someone in the dating process how much money they make? How much are you sharing, or how much are you looking to acquire? Information you're looking to acquire, because we're looking at debt to income ratio. We're looking at how much, like, they might make a lot of money, how much they're actually bringing home. How soon are we discussing these type of things? How soon? How soon are we asking these questions? Jenna says, definitely don't want to make a major commitment to someone and we're about to be struggling. So then I'm like, so in the early dating stages, are you saying, hey, exactly how much money are you making? How much debt do you have? Like, how do we have these conversations? Because you don't want your feelings to get into the way, I assume. Lindsay says, it's shared once the person can't start paying their part. I'm open about discussing the cost of things. If they're always on payment plans or arrangements, they won't be able to keep up with me. So is money what's leading our relationships? Lindsay says, no judgment though. But we can't get by on love alone. Ain't nothing going down over here but the rent. um, Lindsay said the discussion is had early on, if not immediately. So when you say immediately, so you go on a first date with someone and you're like, hey, let me see your check stub. Like, how is this working? How is this working? I mean, I'm asking the question because you don't know who might be in need of this type of advice, right? I don't know. But I do know that whenever you tune into WXNA, you've got the power of the low power FM radio on. You're hearing the modern sounds of Music City, and it's all possible because of listener support. Keep us going like the Roadrunner by becoming a member or making a one-time donation today. Go to WXNAFM.org. Thank you. Tia says, my precious used to say, love don't make a turd. Mm-hmm. Lindsay says, if our salary is comparable, it's not uncomfortable. So you guys are literally talking about dating someone on a certain income bracket. Like, and then I asked earlier if we were past the age of like looking for love, or now is it like, ooh, you're good looking. What do you make? What that money look like? What that bank account do? VO says, I question the relevance of such inquiry prior to engagement. Yes, that's what I'm saying. When y'all are like, somebody's like right away, you want to know right away what they're making. Like, that just doesn't sound like you're looking for companionship. I don't know. Jenna says, we can build, but I am going to need a safe place to live at this big age. I ain't trying to be struggling and living in the hood. Ooh, that was very specific, Jenna. Lindsay says, a partner should not be a project. Oh. I kind of felt that one. A partner should not be a project. If you're together, they had better be too. A project, though? I mean, if you're making more money than they're making, it doesn't make them a project, right? I don't know. Y'all are serious. Lindsay says, people want to know a body count before a credit score. True. I mean, you don't necessarily like want to miss out on somebody worthwhile just because they're at a certain income bracket or because their credit score is something right now, right? Because those things can change. A person, can life sometimes be lifing, for lack of better words. Life sometimes lifes, and sometimes people get hit kind of hard. So I'm just curious as to your thoughts on people growing and building and maybe matching where you are. I don't know. I am not on any particular side. We're just having a conversation. I'm just asking the questions. Jenna says, not necessarily right away, but definitely before engagement. So before engagement. So if you are like, I'm in love with this person, you are in love. And then he or she comes and says, okay, let's have the conversation. I love you so much. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you. And then they reveal how much they make, and it's not at that bracket that you thought it was. So it's over? I'm just asking. Jenna says, like, are you really getting engaged to someone and you don't know what each other's finances are looking like? So then, I mean, are you really going to be seriously involved with someone? before. Lindsay says, I build for a hobby, not to help someone get within a radius of where I am in all walks of life. Ooh, you guys and gals. Guys and gals. Y'all are kind of, that sounds crazy. What sounds crazy? Like falling in love with somebody and then finding out all their debt and everything else. And then you're just like, you know what? I thought I was in love, but not anymore. I'm just curious. I'm curious how this works. Oh, that's cute. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm on the WXNAFM.org website looking at this paraphernalia. They've got some really cute stuff on sale right now. There's a cooler bag. It looks super cute that I might get. And they've got some t-shirts that are on sale right now. So I'm going to check that out. And I just encourage you to check it out too. Jenna says, hard conversations need to be had once you decide you all want to be serious. So that's what I'm saying. You've spent this time. You cannot get this time back, which I think is why Lindsay's saying she asks for it up front and she talks about it up front, because you can't get that time back. So you're talking to this person. It feels great talking to this person. And then you find out you've been dating them, spending time with them. Sometimes adults do adult things. And then you find out that he and she don't make the money that you want them to make. So we out? Is that what we're saying? Or are you going to try to, I think that's where earlier Lindsay might have been talking about not wanting to build a person. I don't know. I'm just curious. Because you have the conversation too soon. It might make things awkward. You miss out on being in a relationship with a great person. Like, what are we saying? How are we playing this? I think each scenario has to be different. And you talking about debt to income. This is a sensitive one, guys. Lindsay says, I think finances come up sooner than we think. I don't think people get involved with someone who has kids and you don't want them. That's true. You do talk about kids. Hey, you got kids? No, you got kids? Yes. Do you want more kids? It seems like an easier conversation than, hey, what's your credit score? Hey, you make at least this much. Is that how much you bring home? What's your debt to income? That's a hard one. VL says there are indicators of poor financial management if one pays attention. I can see that. Jenna, no, but we need to start talking about a plan. Like, how are you going to fix your credit? How are you going to make money? How are you going to make more money, etc.? So how early? So you're saying once you get to the engagement phase is when you want them to share, like, hey, I got a gambling problem. I make $85,000 a year, but I only really bring home 25. Like, that's the kind of conversation y'all gonna have, right? Before engagement. Like, you might not want to put your name on this property with me because your income gonna get taken too. It's like child support, right? I don't know. Lindsay says, yes, VL, pay attention. But how soon? Because sometimes we're in honeymoon phase. Sometimes we're in honeymoon phase, right? And how soon are we involved before we get engaged to then be like, oh, yes, I will marry you. How much money do you have? How are we having this conversation? Lindsay, you should know financials well before engagement. Yes, I do agree with that. I'm just asking, how do we have this conversation? Because even though I'm joking and we're sharing this, there really might be somebody who honestly does not know how to go about doing this. So I love this discussion because we might actually be helping someone. You know what I'm saying? Jenna says, no, I say the serious dating. I'm not getting engaged and I don't know what I'm walking into. So Lindsay says, if we're doing 2 for $20 at Applebee's, shut up, Lindsay. I don't know why that tickled me so. I'm sorry. Sorry for telling you shut up. Lindsay says, if we're doing 2 for $20 at Applebee's and you ain't got it, that's paying attention. Oh. Oh. Okay. I don't know why that tickles me so. I rarely hear anybody talk about Applebee's. And you said 2 for $20 Applebee's. That just tickled me. I'm sorry, y'all. Tia says, if you can't talk to one another, that's a problem in and on itself. I would say, yes, but if you're just dating, how soon? Because if you're going to get engaged, you don't know when the other person is going to propose to you. So how deep are we in before we start talking about your credit? How deep are we in before we start talking about your credit score? Jenna says, pull the bandage off. Hey, boo, let's talk finances. How soon are we, boo? Let's talk about finances. He show up with that ring and he ain't got a job. Now, like I said, in my 20s, I did not care, and I should have. Okay? I'll just leave it at that. Didn't care. It was just like, oh, love this person so much. But no, should have. Okay? I'm just saying, how soon are we having that conversation? Lindsay is saying, yes, Tia. Lindsay says, I'm not engaging with anyone that I can't talk adulting with. Who are y'all out here booing up with? Jenna says it was cute in our 20s. Girl, it was cute in our 20s. Yes, it was. It was cute in our 20s. But we're not in our 20s anymore. And we don't need to be rushing. Unless we rushing and hear this song. One of my jams. This is Rush by Ira Star. You listen, Dear Jelly, I'm the X. Y'all. It was cute in our 20s. So in the other recording studio, I don't know if that's a rabbit, a plastic mouse, a rabbit, I don't know what it is, but it's on top of this speaker and it just scared the crap out of me. I was like all these things are going through my mind. But now I see it's just a statue somebody has stuck up there, and that is just that was not okay. Ugh. It's cute in our 20s when you're 20 when you're 20 and you're both broke and think you have forever. Girl, we thought we had forever. You got a whole child. We have serious conversations, period. True. So then, and like those of us who have children, are we talking about child support type 2? Because that's part of the debt to income ratio, right? When 20, you're both broke and think you have forever. It's true. Yes. Qualifying question. What's your employer match on your phone? Lindsay. Lindsay, that's a good question. What's your employer match on your 401k? Run, don't walk if they don't know. What if they don't know? You're listening to WXNALP Nashville 101.5 FM, live streaming on WXNAFM.org. Tracking back, that was Ira Star with Rush off the 2022 19 and Dangerous Deluxe release. If you're just tuning in, hey, it's Dear Jelly with DJ Jelly, and I'm having a pretty great conversation live with some live in a chat with people on TGI Jelly on Facebook as well as TGI Jelly on YouTube. Before we get into what we're talking about, I would like to share with you about the Tennessee Alliance for Legal Services. The Tennessee Alliance for Legal Services helps those facing legal problems such as protection from abuse, barriers to employment, housing issues, and access to benefits to sustain a family or individual in crises. For civil legal advice and resources, Tennesseans can call 1-844-HELP for TN or go to the website at help4tn.org. Please text TALS to 44321 to support this vital work. If you're just tuning in, hey, happy Sunday. Hope you had a great day. We're having a conversation and we're talking about how soon in the relationship do you disclose, do you let the person know in the dating process? How soon do you let them know that you, where were we last? How soon do you let them know that you are, how much you make, how much you bring home, what your debt to income ratio is? Like, how much do you share? How much do you share? What's going on and what's coming back in? How much do you share? That's what we're talking about today. When you're in a dating process, how soon do you have this conversation to make sure that you're not wasting your time talking to somebody and they're not in the income bracket that you want to be in? I'm just going to track back a little bit. Lindsay said, if we're doing this tickled me so, I don't know. If we're doing a 2 for $20 at Applebee's and you ain't got it, that's paying attention. Paying attention to, the fact that the person doesn't spend their money well. Tia says, if you can't talk to one another, that's a problem in and of itself. Jenna says, pull the bandage off. Hey, boo, let's talk finances. Lindsay says, I'm not engaging with anyone that I can't talk adulting with. Who are y'all out here booing up with? Jenna says, it was cute in our 20s. And it was. In my 20s, I didn't care about all that. Tia says, when you're 20, you are both broke and think you have forever. We did think we had forever. Forever. Jenna says, now I got a whole child. We're having serious conversations, period. Lindsay says, qualifying question. What's your employer match on your 401k? Run, don't walk if they don't know. VL says, I think it is really the amount of debt that is really a concern. I like that, VL. I agree. Living from paycheck to paycheck has nothing to do with salary alone. I agree. Jenna says, oh, Lord. Nora, hi, Nora. Nora says, Lindsay is asking what we need to know. Great questions. And this is why we have these kind of conversations, because honestly, not everybody thinks to ask these type of questions. And we need to remember that if we're asking these kind of questions, we need to ask them gently, right? Because what if this could be your forever? You don't want to scare them off. Jenna says, yeah, probably do need to talk about child support. My cousin ended up having to pay her husband's child support. Yeah, if you marry that person, we pay child support. If you marry them. It's not, them. It's y'all. Jenna says they started taking her wages, and they will. Nora says they can garnish your spouse for child support. Yes, they can. Nora Harris, yes, they definitely can, says Jenna. And Lindsay, thanks, Nora. Yes, so these are hard conversations because it's like you want to marry for love. You want to, right? You want to marry for love, but you also want to be secure. I don't know. Those of y'all that said you wanted love, though, and you didn't want to take that credit card. And if you recall from last week, Lindsay was like, take the money. Y'all said, what about the love you could build together last week? Now today you on this other kick. So which one is it? So this week you taking a credit card? Are we taking a credit card this week? The unlimited amount of credit that you have to pay back this week? Or are we still married for love? Because last week everybody was like, for love, married for love. Except Elijah. Elijah was like, take the money. And it sounds like this week we're lining up with young Elijah, who was letting us know that we needed the money. I'm just saying. Nora says romance without finance has no chance. There needs to be balance. We can love, but we need to be able to eat. Millions are everything, but stability and peace are essential. Okay. Lindsay said, VL, what if they're financing iPhones and have a double-digit APR on a used car? Some are out here making silly decisions, keeping them in the hole. I'm a partner, not their financial advisor. Y'all, these are deep conversations. These are deep conversations. Oh, Nora wants to track that back because earlier she said millions are everything, but stability and peace are essential. And what she meant to say was millions aren't everything, but stability and peace are essential. I don't know, Nora. I feel like I could have some stability and peace with the millions. I'm just we just having a conversation. I'm just thinking out loud. We talking about Forever here. Oh, y'all know this is my jam. Here's Forever with by Gayaki. Listen, Dear Jelly on the X. Playing a little more music today. Hey. I forgot. I love this song. Yes. Yes. Nora, you're funny. My heart beats for you. Lindsay, financial literacy isn't taught or discussed in most Black homes. Financial literacy isn't taught or discussed in most Black homes, and it shows. It does. Do you give grace to someone who is struggling today, but working hard towards being a better financial steward? That's what I asked earlier. Or does someone not qualify as dating worthy if they don't make a certain amount? That was the question, Nora. That's the question I was asking. Sorry, I'm yelling. This is my jam. That's what I was asking, though. Those exact questions. Because I feel like that can be something that can be taught to be more financially responsible. I mean, we all can't have OnlyFans pages, successful ones. I'm all Jake for you. I feel loved again. VL, financial habits, disciplines, and lifestyles can be different from financial conversations. True. Algo feito. Yes, I do. Nora, so many people are in debt and struggling now. So I wonder how realistic it is to expect. Wait, what? Algo feito. A debt-free millionaire. Baby, I would like one. You listen to WXNA-LP Nashville 101.5 FM, live streaming on WXNAFM.org. Tracking back, that was Gayaki with Forever off the 2021 Seed release. If you're just tuning in, happy Sunday. It's Dear Jelly with DJ Jelly, and we have been having a discussion about finances. Like, how soon do you disclose your finances? How much money you make? How soon do you share with someone how much debt you have, your credit score? How soon do you share all those things? How soon do you share it in the dating process? How much do you disclose? And do you only date someone in a certain income bracket? Or do you give room to those who maybe are not quite where you'd like them to be, but you do see potential? Do we date potential anymore? Are we strictly like, this is what you need to be? If you're not here, then keep a marching on. Lindsay said financial literacy isn't taught or discussed in most Black homes, and it shows. Goodness. Nora says, do you give grace to someone who is struggling today, but working towards being a better financial steward? Or does someone not qualify as dating worthy if they don't make a certain amount? That is said so much more eloquently than the way that I said it, because that was my question. Like, if they're just not at a certain income and not bringing in a certain amount of money, do you just deem them as not worthy of dating you? VL says financial habits, disciplines, and lifestyle can be different from financial conversations. Nora says some people are in debt and struggling now. So I wonder how realistic it is to expect a debt-free millionaire. Lindsay says people will be polo down to their socks and out here using rush cards. I cannot. What's a rush card? I don't know what that is. What's a rush card? Lindsay is not down with it, but I would like to know what a rush card is. Nora says, but the idea of assuming someone's financial mess in marriage scared me. But the idea of assuming someone's financial mess in marriage scared me. I mean, it's real. Scares you. Okay, it's real. Lindsay says, my debt isn't your debt and vice versa. Even if we're thousandaires, get a prenup. Y'all are like hard. Lindsay ain't going. Nora says, do you think the conversation or expectation is different for men versus women? I feel like men are expected to be more financially stable, yet women cannot be and still date. What do y'all think? Okay, it's like men are expected to be more financially stable, yet women cannot be and still date. What do y'all think? It's a prepaid lifestyle card. What's a lifestyle card? That's very interesting. All right, y'all. This has been interesting. This has been quite the conversation. A lot of great information. It's been a good conversation. I really appreciate everybody that has shared today, shared your thoughts. I thought our boy was going to be in here to give his thoughts, but he has not come in yet. But I appreciate everybody for sharing what you shared today. Thank you for adding so much value to the conversation, to the show. Wouldn't do this without you. Couldn't do this without you. I hear something. It's a door. This is a great convo. Everyone really digging the feedback. This has really been good and lots of good insight and everything as well. Thank you so much for adding so much value tonight. Like I said, you never know who might need your thought process, who might need your thoughts. Juan, DJ Juan is in the building. DJ Juan is in the building. DJ Juan, they want to know from last week, are you choosing love or are you taking the credit card with the unlimited amount of money that you do not have to pay back?
I choose love. 100%.
You heard it here. DJ Juan, you get a lot of love on here. DJ Juan. DJ Juan chooses love. He chooses love 100%. All right, y'all, stay tuned. If you're listening on the radio, don't turn that dial. Stay tuned for the International Echo with DJ Juan coming up next. If you're tuning in online, please tune on to WXNAFM.org and vibe out with DJ Juan. I'll see you guys next week, same time, same place. Love you. We wouldn't do this without you. We wouldn't want to do the show without you. Appreciate you. And we'll see y'all next week, y'all. Let me get on off here so DJ Juan can get settled in. All right. Have a great one.